Seven-figure success starts when you start thinking like a CEO. Welcome to the John Kitchens Coach Podcast Experience. This is your host, John Kitchens. Get ready to think bigger and transform your business into a path to lasting freedom. What is happening, everybody, man? Thank you guys tuning in to another episode of Expert Mentors Live. And this is the traditional kickoff of the new year. Gogo, this is our 6th year of starting the year off together on Expert Mentors Live. So, man, I look forward to it. So the team already knows, right? They're like, hey, we got to get Gogo. When are we getting the date in? What day are we doing it? Let's get her lined up. And
I cannot believe it's been 6 years.
Our 6th year. How just does it, like, I had to go back and double check, but it is our 6th year, which is absolutely incredible. And I appreciate you, carving out the time. And I know kind of you're just at a fun spot in your life. And I know we'll get into that a little bit, but man, how much has changed? So much has changed in the last 6 years, this run that we've been on. And we had traditionally had started these conversations around kind of where you were at that time, right? It was the state of social media. I mean, you were the social media queen, the red dress, that was you, that was your persona, that was the brand. And so much has evolved and changed. And it's like we were talking about, hey, what are we calling this? And it's just
I think I asked you, I'm like, can we change the title?
Yeah, let's change it, because so much has changed with you. And like I said, I look forward to this conversation every year, starting off with you, and I'm ready to dive in. I know you've got a lot of ground to cover, but I would love, maybe let's start right there, right? Change the topic, change the conversation. It's no longer the state of social media. It's just the state of business, the state of the business. And it's just an interesting evolution of all things that, has happened over the last few years and kind of where you're at. Love to tell this story.
Oh my gosh, right? Oh gosh. That's why I asked you, I'm like, can we talk about something else? Not that social media is not important or not a part of my life. It's just as much a part of my life. And I couldn't get anything done without social media, or achieve, and not get done, but to achieve, right? That stuff. But in the same time, I have achieved so much. And I want to teach that, because I truly achieved financial freedom and time freedom and location freedom in my life. And I want to be able to share what I did to do that and help others to do the same if they wish so, right? Like, nothing wrong with production and being on a hamster wheel if that's what you want for your life. I just know that that's not what I want, right? And that's not what I want to share anymore. Now, I'm all for production. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for making money. It's just making it in multiple different ways by working less and still having a life, because I've been way too close to burnout, I wouldn't say way too many times, but one too many times.
Yeah. And what is it just an over obsession of pushing without in your mind the right kind of balance? I mean, there's no such thing as balance. My definition of balance is just be present wherever you're at. So like for you, is it just things that were neglected, things that just weren't given the right attention for you that caused that burnout feeling?
I'm smiling here when you said balance, because I'm like, what is that exactly? So what I call balance and what somebody else calls balance is probably something totally different. I was actually watching Barbara Corcoran's interview last night, and she was talking about, her life and what is she like and how she functions and all that. And they asked her, what is she bad at? And she said she's bad at relaxing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm Barbara. Like, I don't really know. To me, relaxing is like wasting my life. Like, I can relax, maybe like one of my New Year's resolution is to read this Bible. I always wanted a white Bible with gold lettering and rice paper, the very, very thin paper. So one of my resolutions for this year, New Year's resolution, is to read this Bible start to finish. Well, I can sit about 20 minutes at a time. And then I'm like, I need to get up and I need to go do something. Like, I need to use my brain. I need to build something. I need to do something. I have to feel productive. For me, it's just like a high, almost like it's like my adrenaline. It's like I created something, like I served a purpose today. I achieved something today, right? So I actually enjoy that. I call that balance. It works just fine for me. Right. But I do spend a lot of time with my family. I do work from home. I only work Monday to Wednesday when I'm like, you can't talk to me because I'm on a live. And then every day I would say by 4 o'clock, I am done. And every weekend I don't work. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't work. I have extended weekends for the rest of my life.
I love that. And that's by design. That's through intent. And so for you, you're like every minute is like their structured when you're working, right? You know what it is, and you really know the activities that you're in charge of. And it's one of the things that I really, love about you is how you value your time, because you know what you're worth. And I think that's where so many people give away, right, their time. And I was having a conversation this morning with DJ Matt and DJ was like, that's one of the things that I can't let slip away moving into the new year, moving into the future, is I just can't let my time slip away, because it's truly costing me so much, financial, but also time with family, time with my son, time there. And it's just really getting a grip on that. And you have I love your take on it. So I'll let you dive in, because real estate agents need to get this, especially they need to get it now more than ever, really understand the value of their time.
I've never heard it put, I should put it this way. The time that really nailed it in for me when I finally understood it is that when I heard someone say that an hour of your time is an hour of your life.
Yeah.
So if you look at your life as a whole, is that really how you want to spend it? So if you were on your deathbed right now, and you know that your time is counted, and all of us are on our deathbed right now, and our time is counted, by the way. Just FYI, right? All of our time is clicking at the same time. Well, question yourself, is this really what I want to be doing? If I knew that my time is counted, is this really what I want to be doing? Is this the person that I want to be spending with? Is this the activity that I want to be doing? Does this make you happy? Does this make you the money? Or even if it makes you the money, does it really matter? Do you need to make that money anymore? Or would you be better off spending it with your 17-and-a-half-year-old who's going to be flying out of the nest here in a minute, and then that's that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the phase. I think on one of our other calls, we talked about the phases of life. Like if I was in the phase where I was an empty nester right now, I would probably be head down working, because I don't want to have time to think. Right. I wouldn't want to have time to miss my children. I would be so busy building another multi-million-billion-dollar company just so I can keep myself busy. But that's not the phase of my life. The phase of my life right now is I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old. Mm-hmm. Then I have 2 summers with one and 3 summers with one and 1 summer with the other.
Yeah.
Right. So now I count things in summers. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Which reminds me, I'm taking the whole summer off. In the month of June, I'll be in Italy. And then at the end of June, we're going to go to EXPCon Barcelona. And then from there, we're going to go to Monaco. And from there, we're going to go to Romania for a couple of weeks. We're going to come back to Florida. Then we're going to fly up to Michigan, visit family, and then school starts again. So I'm taking literally the whole summer off with my family. But let's talk about that time and how to know what's worth your time and what doesn't. So I want you to take, and this is a perfect timing for this because we are starting a whole new year over, right? I want you to take your 2024 income. Every money that you made in 2024, not after taxes, not after expenses, every penny, every dollar that hit your account in 2024. And I want you to be dividing that by 2080. Now, if you are a top producing realtor or a top producing entrepreneur, you're probably really not working 20 hours a week. You're probably working way more than that. But let's thrive for 40 hours. Let's assume that you worked a healthy 40 hours. That's 2,080 hours in a year. So if you take that amount that you made, and many of you probably don't even know that number, and that's because you don't track your number, and that's going to be a whole other conversation.
We can spend this whole time talking about that.
That's going to be a whole other conversation, right? If you don't even know your numbers, get off the call right now and go do yourself a favor and figure out how much money you made last year so you can know your hourly rate, because this will probably be your biggest takeaway here today, is to know what your time is worth and then charge taxes on top of it. So let's say it's $1 million. You're going to take the $1 million or 250,000 or whatever that is. What do you think is a reasonable number, John, for an average income of your listeners?
I would think, they're 250 up. Let's just say they're kind of an emerging talent type of agent. They're kind of at the point they want to really take it serious and grow a business. being able to really, hey, I have aspirations to get to 7 figures. I'm a couple 6 figures. I'm not complacent. I'm not getting, let's make a run. So let's just say 250 to 300.
Okay. So I'll do the math with 300,000. We're going to take 300,000 divided by 2,080. So 2080. And if you're making 300,000 in 2024, or I should say if you made 300,000 in 2024, your hourly rate currently is $144 an hour, which means that you will not or shall not or should not ever do anything ever again that doesn't make you $144 in that hour. If you're doing that, you're losing money. And that is including your laundry, that is including walking your dog, that's including groceries, that's including taking out yard signs, that's including answering to an email, to a DM, to all of that. I have 14 assistants. I don't do any of those. I couldn't tell you the last time I ran a load of laundry, not because I don't qualify. It's just because I know I'm losing money every time I run a load of laundry. Think of it this way. Most people would say, yeah, but I can run a load of laundry and listen to the Zoom call at the same time. Physically, yes, you're able to. Your brain is not going to comprehend it because you're not giving your full attention.
How do you overcome somebody that has that type of scarcity mentality, or has, I've heard people, oh, well, like, it's good exercise, and, it teaches good values and doing things like that. Like, how do you help people overcome that type of mindset, the scarcity type of mindset, to kind of let go and kind of be able to move forward from that?
Can I be harsh?
I wouldn't want it any other way, Gogo.
Let's just put it this way. Poor people ask the question, how much does something cost? Wealthy people ask the question, how much money is this going to make me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let's play the game. Let's say you're thinking about if you should or should not hire a personal assistant, and your personal assistant will help you with so let's talk about my house assistant, right? I call her my personal assistant, but she really actually doesn't work with me because I'm on lives all day. So by the time she shows up, I'm already working, and when she leaves, I'm still working. So I usually don't actually see her. She helps Dwayne run our household. She does laundry, she grocery shops. I'm going to speak tomorrow. I need a pair of nylons. She's at Target right now buying nylons because I can't go to Target because I have to be here, right? So she helps with literally anything that you can think of that physically needs to be near me and needs to get done. Okay. So let's say you're getting someone to do laundry for you. Let's say it would cost you, how much do you think, John, in your area, if someone was to come over, a stay-at-home mom who drops off the kids at school, gets to your house around 9:30, while the kids are in school for 2-3 hours, she runs a few laundries for you, picks up the house every single morning, 2-3 hours a day. How much do you think that person would charge hourly?
$25.
Okay, so let's do 25. So the math is simple. Okay. So $25, right? We calculated that your hourly rate currently is $144, right? Not yours, but the listeners. Okay. With the sake of the conversation. So if you're hiring this person, most people will look at it that this person is going to cost me $25. I can do my own laundry. It's like riding a bike. I can do my own laundry, right? I'm saving $25. Are you really saving $25, or are you losing $119?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know what you're good at and you stay in your lane and you do that, you put your head in the sand and that's what you do. You do the activity that makes you the $144. How many clients could you get in that hour?
That's right.
So are you really losing $119? I don't think so. I think you're actually losing way more than that, because if you did what you're really good at and you stayed in your lane, you would get yourself probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clients. And if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clients, let's say you got 5. Let's say you got, meet me in the middle. Let's say you got 3 clients and your average commission is 10 grand. That's $30,000 you could have made in that hour by lead generating for yourself, and instead you run a load of laundry.
That's right.
That's why you don't have money.
Allocation of time, but it's all the mindset shift first, right? And it's just really starting to know your worth. And
it also only works. You can't be sitting back and sipping mimosas while someone's running your load of laundry.
Well, there's a trade-off, right? Like you can do those things and buy back some life, buy back some freedom, but that's kind of an expense.
Yeah.
That's not an investment. And I think that's, that type of shift. And it's the biggest thing for where I see how the only reason I believe you should be in residential real estate sales, is to uncover opportunities to invest in for wealth. And so it's invest mentality. you're investing in talent, you're investing in labor to free up your time to go focus on things that will build you freedom and get you closer. That's the only reason, right? It's just like, I just tell these guys all the time, I'm just like, you're building a team. The team should just be uncovering opportunities for you. That's the only reason you should have a team in real estate. And so really understanding that investment type of mentality. And the first thing and the first person you have to invest in is yourself. Yeah. It's so good. That's where I believe it starts, Gogo, right there, the mindset.
You're trading your life for money. Literally, you're trading a part of your life for money. So are you really planning, how do I say this? Are you really wanting to trade an hour of your life for a load of laundry?
Yeah. I don't. Right. No, I love that. So, okay, Gogo, I get it. All right. I'm going to, I stand what that is. I'm going to make those hires. I start small. Now what do I do? Right. Kind of as the direction and like, where's the direction of the business going? What's changing? What's not changing? I've got more time. Where do I allocate my new time now? Yeah.
So that would be different for everyone, right? So now that you know your hourly rate and you know your income, I want you to take a step back, a 10,000 foot view, and look at your business. It's going to be different for everyone. And I want you to look at, where did that money come from? Literally. Did it come from buyers? Did it come from sellers? Did it come from open houses? Did it come from Zillow leads? Did it come from events? Where did it come from? Did it come from your Facebook ads? Where did it come from? So when you're making your first hire, when you figure out, usually when you look at your book of business, usually you realize there's two reoccurring things. There's multiple, but two that happens over and over again. That's what my research shows through the years, right? So maybe for you is Facebook ads and open houses. So you hire this new assistant who's going to help you with everything else, then it's no longer worth your time, right? And guess where you're going to be at? Facebook ads and open houses. You're going to double down on that. So while this person is helping you to run your life so you can have sanity when you come out of this office, right? You're going to go head down, hard work, double down on what you know it's working. When you double down on what you know it's working and you're no longer spending your time on the data entry of the everyday nitty-gritty that also needs to get done, your results just quadruple because you're only spending time on the things that are making you money. Does that make sense? So I would want you to start with that. And eventually, now you're going to be making 4 or 5 times the money, right? So I can give you an example. The most money I've ever made, I don't know without a personal assistant, because I had a personal assistant. I had Christy for 11 or 12 years of my career, and I'm 14 years in, right? So I hired a personal assistant before I could actually afford one, to be honest.
So that's a great point right there. So in that is it too, right? It's like, make the hire right before you can afford to make the hire. And so in the early days for you, mom, business, like, what were all the things that filled her bucket? Because I think that's where I hear a lot of agents like, well, what would they do? What would be all the things that they would do? Well, okay, now I understand the math equation, but still, what are those things? What would they do?
So I started with what I suck at?
Yeah.
So I would call myself an organized chaos kind of person. I'm very organized in my head. Now, if you're going to make me file that into an actual paper file, it's never going to happen. If you're going to ask me, where's the file for 123 Main Street? I don't have one. Everything is in my head. I know exactly where to find it. I know what email to print. I know who sent it, when they sent it. I know which side of the page I took the note on. Like, I'm very visual and I'm very organized. But when you have a lot of businesses and as you're growing with things, right, we all naturally have super duper skills and we have things that we just suck at. Hire the things that you suck at. That's the first thing they're going to take off of your plate. So that in my case, I can be successful top producing agent and be organized. So when someone comes into my office, there's not a pile of paper this high. And when they're looking at what they need, I'm like, oh, it's somewhere in here, right? So that would have been me in the past, right? Today, I'm super organized, but I have 14 assistants. Mm-hmm. Like, I literally have an assistant for everything from design to emails to websites to numbers trackers to you name it, I have it. Right? Because I hire out my weaknesses. So I would start with weaknesses. I would also start with things that you might love and you're good at it, but it's not making you the money, right? So for example, bookkeeping, your taxes, you're answering your emails. Like, you might love it, right? But does it make you money? No, it's at the back end. You already made the money. You just have to respond to your bookkeeper where it went, right? Or where did it come from? So I would hire those things out and really just put your head down and do the things that you're really good at. Now, after they help you get organized, then you're going to start thinking on all of the things that are like, ooh, I could be doing this. And now there's 2 of us, right? So now we have 80 hours, because alone you have 40 hours if you're working normal hours, right? And then now you have 1 more of you. So now you have 80 hours worth of work you can get done in 1 week. So now after everything got organized and you guys got a good rhythm and understand each other and how you work. Now, let's say this person still has 30 hours left or 20 hours left, right? Now, what can they do? You know what they can do? They can start building you all of those businesses, that all of these ideas that are in your head that you're like, oh my gosh, it's such a great idea, but I don't have any time, or I don't know where to start or how to do it. That can be on the computer over there Googling it. They can be on the computer over there setting you up all of the steps and go high level and creating your course and setting up the camera and the lights. And all you need to do is sit down and shoot your course.
So the thing too, so, Christine's a great example, right? With you for what, 8, what do you say, 11 years she's been with you?
12 years we've been working together.
So, obviously we know what happened before this first, episode of you and I kicking the year off 2 months later in March of 20, with, the world getting shut down. But what it did is it unlocked the global workforce, right? It unlocked talent all over the planet. And, and the reason it did is because the talent was going into offices. Now the talent is at home. And it really unlocked a lot of being able to find really, really skilled and talented people all over the globe, and getting into an affordable, salary range that we can really apply to, to small businesses or agents in particular here we're talking to that are just kind of breaking that multiple six-figure range. Now they have, some dollars. So for you, it was in person, right? Would you say, could an organized, chaotic, organized individual agent, do they need somebody in person, or could they go the virtual team member route in today? So
let's back it up to 12 years ago was what, 2012? They were no VAs. No. Did we have Wi-Fi? I don't know. Maybe we had Wi-Fi, but absolutely. I mean, I would not start with an in-person today, because you more than likely can afford it just yet, right? But the 25 might hurt, but can you afford $5?
Yes.
An hour? And if you can't afford $5 an hour, skip Starbucks today and you'll be fine. There is your first VA. Absolutely would I do it different today than I did it back then. Back then I didn't have a choice. Today I have a choice. So I would recommend starting with a virtual assistant. Here are a couple of tips about virtual assistants. Actually, if you go on so today I'm going to give you guys, I have some bullet points I want to make sure we cover.
You brought gifts into the new year. Yes.
I did a lot of free stuff. But in order for me to be able to get these to you, because we couldn't figure out how to do the links in a chat where you can just click it, right? So what I want you to do is go on Gogo's Real Estate on Instagram. So my name is Gogo. If you go on Gogo's Real Estate on Instagram, I'm going to give you these keywords. So when I say keyword, write it down. Then you can go to my Instagram and comment that keyword on any of my posts, or you can DM it to me. And my system will automatically send you that specific thing that I'm talking about, okay? So let's talk about virtual assistants. What do I recommend? I recommend for you to have 2. The reason why is because it's going to take about 3 months, 90 days for your virtual assistants to kind of come up above, head above water. You're going to spend all this time. You're going to invest it into this person. You're going to train them and to understanding who you are and what you do and how you do it. And they're finally ready to help you and they get pregnant. Here you are. You're going to have to hire another one. You're going to have to start the 90 days over and you're going to have to train them. And then by they get trained, they realize they don't like working for you. And then they quit. Right? And then you're back at the same roller coaster. So I recommend to have 2. For every job, have 2. If one quits, you have the other one. Doesn't affect your business whatsoever. Okay? So I would recommend 2. The locations I recommend them from, most of my virtual assistants are from Brazil. The reason why is because the time zone. The time zone is only 1 to 2 hours away, depending if it's, those American time changes that we do twice a year. So, but most of the time it's a 1 hour difference. Or for half a year is 1 hour, half a year is 2 hour difference. And they don't have accents. Like their accents are better than my accent, right? So that's how good they are. So I would recommend Brazil. Now, if I have a digital person, a web designer, a video editor, or a numbers guy, like I always have an Excel sheet numbers guy because I love trackers. My trackers have trackers. Those 4 jobs I would hire from India or the Middle East. Okay, so my website guy, my video editor guy is from India, and then my numbers guy, he's from India too, actually now. But my old numbers guy, before he left, he was from Pakistan. Okay. Now I have an amazing, if you're wondering, yeah, Gogo, but where do I find them? How to train them, how to pay them, all of this stuff, right? Go to my Instagram. So Gogo's Real Estate, and comment the word virtual. My automation is going to send you, based on that keyword, right? It's going to send you an e-booklet, and you can follow that e-booklet step by step, how to find them, how to train them, what Facebook groups to join so you can find them, so it's not costing you money. After you read that e-booklet, you decide that you don't want to do that, you just want to hire them. I also gave you a Staples Easy button right there for the company that I love and trust, for you to hire it through them if you don't want to go through the process of finding them and hiring them yourself. Okay. So again, the keyword for that one is virtual. Okay. Can we talk a little bit about agent attraction?
Absolutely, because increasing headcount into the real estate business solves a lot of problems. So in fact, it can solve almost all problems. So definitely let's talk agent attraction.
Let's just say it changed my life, and it solves, yes, pretty much all of our problems. Yeah. Anything that money can fix, it solves that problem.
Yes.
Yes. So let's talk about that. I did come to EXP. Can I say balls to the walls?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I did already.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you did. So I did come to EXP for agent attraction. I was already a top producing agent. I knew how to do a transaction. I'm assuming you can't forget how to do a transaction, right? It's like riding a bike. But I didn't want to be 67 and doing an open house.
Yeah.
I started losing my patience with my clients that were buying RVs the day of closing, and then we couldn't close because their income to debt ratio went up. And there I was working for them for 60 days and not getting paid. And then I started really voicing my opinion. And I was like, before I ruin my own reputation, because I'm losing my patience, right? Let's have a solution to this problem, right? Because I knew that I'm not going to have the same enthusiasm and the same patience and the same work, not ethic, because the work ethic will always be the same, but the same excitement towards work than I had in my 20s or my 30s, right? So with that being said, when I came to EXP, I knew I wanted to do agent attraction. I wanted to do agent attraction for multiple reasons. I wanted to have a solid source of income that comes in on the 20th of every month. And then I also wanted to have a source of income that is not tied to my production. So what if I get sick? What if I get pregnant? What if I hit burnout? What if I want to go to Europe for 2 months? What if I just want to spend some time with my family and take a breather? Right? Can I do that? I was not able to do that as an agent in real estate because I was on the production roller coaster and I needed to get off of that. So that was my solution. And then my next solution was stocks, right? I wanted to have a retirement plan. So I was planning on bringing 40 agents a year. I was never planning to icon, but I was planning to icon my own way. And the way I plan to icon is what happens when you bring an agent? You get stocks and you get revenue share, right? So you get $400 worth of stocks when they close their first deal. Well, if you bring 40 of them times 400, how much is that?
Yeah.
That's my icon. So if you ask me, I iconed every year. I just don't have a piece of paper to prove it, but I have the stocks in my account because every time I bring an agent, they close their first deal, I get $400. There's my icon in the end of the year, right? So I did it for 2 years.
You didn't have to travel. And you didn't have to do all the requirements that come with it.
Exactly. It's just another way of iconing, right? So I strongly recommend learn the company, everything they have to offer, use every benefit that the company has to offer, because when you use it, it's easy to sell a product that you're using yourself, right? So when you know everything that the company has to offer, from production to agent attraction to the icon program to the revenues programs to you name it, right? The how many different teams we can have, the husband and wife, the standard team, the domestic team, the mega icon team, all of those, then you can sell the product, okay? Now, when you practice it and when you use everything that this company has to offer, I guarantee you, and even though I can't say guarantee, but I guarantee you with every hair on my body, right, that you will win. Your life will change. EXP has changed my life. So with that being said, when your life will change, when you put all of these things in practice and you start seeing that income and you start seeing that retirement and you start seeing that freedom that it provides, you won't be able to shut up about it. You will tell everybody, you will go on the closest mountaintop and yell it for everybody that would listen. I have 2 requirements for agent attraction. You want to guess what those 2 requirements are, John?
2 requirements for agent attraction. I was thinking, you had me thinking about the customer journey, and I was like, because the customer journey, you're becoming a promoter, but you got to be an advocate before you can be a promoter. And by definition, an advocate is somebody that gives a testimonial and a review. Well, you can't give a testimonial and a review unless you've used the company and know what the company provides. So I was still connecting the dots on everything that you were saying because of understanding the customer journey. Like, you're never going to be a promoter if you're not an advocate.
You have
You're
to
not going to be an advocate.
You have to show the life that this company provided to you, because people are going to want to have the life. The life that EXP provides is the byproduct. Or I should say, when they see your life, EXP is just the byproduct, right? They want the life. They're signing up for the life that the company is going to provide. But if that company just happens to be EXP, right? But the 2 things that are my requirements to have an agent partner at EXP, I'm going to make it super easy for you. Number 1, have a license. Number 2, have a pulse.
Yeah.
If they have these 2 things, I would love to partner with them at EXP. But with all joke aside, you can actually be more strategic on who you want to partner with and then have a control over your income, right? So when I joined the company, I wanted to have the agent who is between 2 million and 4 to 6 million in production, ideally between 2 to 6 million. If you ask me why, here are the reasons why. At 2 million, they're almost cappers. That means they know how to do transactions. They know how to contact their broker. They know how to fill out their addendums. I don't have to hold their hands through the process. They're not going to blow up my phone every 2 hours of, oh my gosh, someone emailed me, what do I say, right? They know what to do. They also got a taste for money, so they want more of that, right? And if we can get, if they are already at that 6 million production, right, I can get them to icon like this. So my ideal agent is between 2 to 6 million in production. Okay, now the question is, who is your ideal agent? Who do you want to partner with? Also, my ideal agent happened to be me at that time. Because when I joined EXP, I was a $7 to $9 million producer, which for me, with Michigan pricing, was about 40 transactions in average a year. Okay, so it was easy for me to talk to that ideal agent partner because I was it. I knew their pain. I knew what they're doing. I knew what they needed. I knew who they are. So it's very easy to have a conversation with someone who's just like you. So I would say your ideal agent, your what I like to call your low-hanging fruit, the lowest hanging fruit is an agent who's just like you. What is that caliber of agent? Write it down. Next question. Where are you going to find them? Where are they at? Do they go to events? Do they usually end up showing up on Zoom calls? Could you have coffees with them locally? Could you hit them up on Instagram? Or are they on social media? Well, for me, guess where they were? On social media. Okay. Where are they located? I don't care. EXP is in every state. All I care is that you have a license, a pulse, and you produce somewhere between 2 to 6 million. And you can be anywhere in this country or in 24, 27 different countries. Okay. Now, the question is, how am I going to find them? How are you going to have that conversation? Now that we know who they are, where they are, and what they do and what they need, how do we open up that conversation? I'm like, ooh, that's the hardest part because nobody wants to be sold, but we all want to win, right? So I decided I never cold called in real estate either. So this is not going to be the time when I start learning scripts and hitting up people and burning bridges. Like the idea makes me twitch.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do it how I did it with the buyers and sellers. How did I do it? On social media. I create some videos. I tell them about the product. When they're ready, they raise their hand. There is a button to push. They push the button. They show up in my calendar. I have a good old conversation. Like you and me are bestest friends. Here's what I have to offer. Do you like it? You like it? Great. Do you want to sign up? Yes. Here's the other button. Push that one. You push that button. Yay, you're coming to EXP. Hooray. Christy's going to take it from there. We're going to have a good old conversation. She's going to guide you through the onboarding process. And then we are partners. And then I'm going to tell the world that you decided to join EXP with me. That's my process. And then you might wonder, okay, Gogo, but where's the button? How do I get that button? Right? Well, it's easy. I have partnered with EXP. And if you're an EXP agent, there's an Elevate coaching program for agent attraction. And I think it's only like $900 because my actual agent attraction course is $3,000. So if you're an EXP agent, you can get it for $900. You can go to my Instagram and comment Elevate. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps of how I built everything. And I will even give you a copy of my funnel. Now, you do have to build that, but just kind of like a couple of clicks of a button. If you don't even want to do that, I have a Staples Easy button inside the course, and my team will build it for you. But just take the first step first. Comment Elevate. If agent attraction is what you want to do in 2025, just comment Elevate. Get that course, watch the videos, push the buttons, have your own funnel so you can do agent attraction in 2025 with a push of a button. Good?
Love it. I love it.
To the next subject.
And on your point, I wanted to, because you were commenting about this earlier about agents and where they need to focus. And one of Vern Harnish's top book recommendations coming into 2025 is called Scale Up Faster. And it's the secrets of the world's quickest growing bootstrapped companies. So they did a 2.5 year kind of deep dive on unlocking the secrets of the top 1% performers among the Inc. 5,000 of private companies in America. And the number one thing is that they had one way of selling that had a high close ratio, one focused approach. Those were the top of the top of the top. And I think that's just a great, just like understanding, and just be like, okay, the top 1% of the Fortune 5,000 private companies, they focused on one. I'm gonna focus on one. You just gave everybody the process. I mean, some of it just flew right over their head. For some people, they're like, what? And then a small few got it. For those that got it, I'm telling you, hit Elevate. She just gave you the one process.
And if you want proof in the pudding, I have attracted over 270 agents personally in my front line. Those turned into 1,500 agents over time. And I have made over $1 million multiple times in the year. Like, probably, I haven't done the math, but last year, close to $1 million.
Yeah.
In revenue share alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the proof is in the pudding. I'm never teaching anything that I haven't done myself. And I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. Find me on Instagram, Gogo's Real Estate. I'll teach what I do. But again, and I also never called a single agent.
Yeah.
They show up in my calendar, and that's what I teach. I teach agent attraction. I don't teach recruiting. So if you want scripts, and if you want like how to mass email people and annoy them every single day 7 times, that's not me.
You know what's crazy too is, just because I'm having conversations with Matt and DJ, and I asked them the question this morning. I was like, because as they're bringing agents in, I said, how many of the agents know how to communicate on a phone? They go, hardly any. And I'm like, why is there a business model that's prospecting based of dialing phone numbers?
Especially the new generation, like my kids. Like when I call my kids, it's like, I'm like, that's how you talk to each other?
Yeah, whoa. It's wild.
What, bro?
Yeah, and it's on FaceTime. they ain't calling nobody.
But the funny part is they FaceTime each other, but they're not actually in the picture. They show like the ceiling where the camera is face down on the bed. And I'm like, why do you FaceTime each other?
And there's like 7 of them on there. It's wild.
It's so different. But like the same way when we look at our parents and we're like, oh my gosh, did they do things jackass backwards, right? Like now I'm like, that's probably how our kids look at us. And that's how we look at them. We can't possibly understand how their generation is going to function. I'm like, how are you guys going to sell anything to each other? You can't shake hands and you can't make eye contact.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're going to figure it out. We figured it out. It's totally different how our parents did it. And their generation is going to have a totally different time of sales. But I agree with you. Like, why would we be cold calling strangers? Like, just hit them up on Instagram. That's where everybody's at. Hit them up on X. Hit them up on TikTok. Hit them up on LinkedIn. You know what I mean?
100%.
So do we want to talk about leveraging and multiple streams of income?
We've got the right mindset. We understand what our time is worth. We know where to make the leverage, the investments, right? We're investing in giving us more time. We know we need to increase headcount because that is building us something that we don't have to trade time for dollars, right? And understanding the math equation, right? It's time for dollars, dollars for time. than dollars for dollars, right? So we need to build part of the machine that's generating revenue that we can take that revenue and reinvest back in and make our money work for us. So, I think as you kind of get to that point, the one thing, and I want you to touch on this, is how important one of the questions, and it's the Bezos question. Joe Purcell and I were talking about it on the last Expert Mentors in December. And the whole conversation was around not what's going to change in the second half of this decade, but what's not going to change. And you look at it from a marketing perspective, it's about building the database. It's about building the list. And you have a massive list. And one of the things that's not going to change is contacts database list. Touch on that and why that's so important for agents moving into the future, building their database.
I'm so excited you asked that. I came prepared. So one of the things, let's talk about email database. So for example, we all think we own our social media. You don't. I don't care how many followers you have. You don't have those followers. Facebook does, Instagram does, LinkedIn does. They own it. You could wake up tomorrow and they cut the cord and there's nothing you can do about that, right? So that means what if worst case scenario, let's be devil's advocate, you wake up tomorrow and all of the Facebook followers that you have worked the last 11 years, they just poof gone. You can't even log into your account. You don't even exist because they wiped you clean for whatever reason, accidentally sometimes. If you watched Facebook guy, what's his name? Zach. So if you watch his video yesterday, he's like, oh yeah, we accidentally deleted a lot of accounts. It could have been your career. It could have been 12 years of your life. And yes, it was an accident. Okay, so with that being said, you have to have your email database then. So you need to have a database that you own. So something that you can fall back on, right? I don't have a massive database, but I have a very active database. So I have 15,000 emails that I email every single day, which to me, that does, somebody said, Gogo, that's a lot of people. But to me, I'm like, I have just on Instagram, I have 89,000 followers, 15,000 of that. I'm thinking, what are the other 70,000 doing? Like, why don't you give me your address? I have a lot to give, right? So it's going to be hard work to collect this data, just like everything is hard work. If it was easy to do it, everybody would have done it already, right? But I strongly recommend that you concentrate in 2025 on building your email database so you can own the data of your followers, of your people, of your clients. So we said 15,000 emails, 1 email a day. Any idea how many emails that is? Mind you, I started the year at 11,000 emails. So starting 2024 at 11,000, ending the year at 15,000 solid emails with anywhere from 40 to 60% opening rate, which is a very high opening rate.
Really high.
You know how many emails we sent?
Millions.
4.7 million. So 4,793,848 emails. You know how many got opened? 2,034,725. If these people, and just think of it, this is 2 million emails. If I make as much as $1, just $1, for every email that I send,
that
is $2,034,725. Then I could potentially make. Now, of course, I didn't make $2 million off of my email, but I made plenty. Thank you so much. But that's your opportunity. That's a whole other way of reaching people. And then when you have an email database, they can so graduate with you, right? So if you think about it, you might be thinking about buying and selling right now, and that's your only way of making money. But next year, you might be doing agent attraction. And then the year after that, you might start a course. And then the year after that, you might build a team. And then the year after that. So as you're graduating through life, that email database grows with you. They're graduating with you. They're going to be purchasing your course next time. And then they're going to join you and they're getting their real estate license and they're going to join your team, right? They're going to graduate with you. So a database, it's an absolute must. You have to do it. And my Gogopreneur episode, which just launched yesterday, I'm actually talking about how to grow your database. So if you go to my Gogo's real estate Instagram account and you comment Gogopreneur, kind of like entrepreneur, but with Gogo in the front, Gogopreneur, you're going to get an automation that takes you to my podcast. And on the last episode of my podcast, I literally teach exactly how I build my email database, what systems we use to send the daily emails, what systems we use to track the daily emails. And you can also, my team just said that you can also comment podcast. So if you want to keep it simple, if you don't want to know how to spell Gogopreneur, because it is a little bit hard, just comment podcast and you will get the same automation and you can listen into the last episode of Gogopreneur. And also if you're an EXP agent, I am on the EXP radio station, so KGCI, and you can listen there too live. Okay, I think it pays every Monday.
Love it.
Okay, so then we have, and then let's talk a little bit about social media, right? So databases, you can build anywhere. You can build it on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on X, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook groups, wherever you want to. You have to exist everywhere. So what I do is I post on Instagram. That is like my homepage. That's my home. I feel comfortable. I know every button. I can do Instagram with one eye open in the middle of the night, right? So I make my content on Instagram, but then I have a team and they plaster it everywhere. So what I think it's important is for you to have Facebook pages, Facebook groups. I don't do business on personal. So when I mean Facebook, I don't mean your personal. I mean, you can share it there. Why not? Those are your personal people. But I don't push business stuff down on my friend's throat. Just because if they're a plumber, for example, they're not pushing down the newest, I don't know, pipe cleaner down on my throat, right? Because I have no interest in that. So I don't force my friends into doing business with me. If they have an interest in whatever I'm doing, they're going to find me on my business pages. So I do business on business and personal on personal. That's just my 2 cents. Okay. So with that being said, you have to be on Facebook groups, Facebook pages. You have to be on LinkedIn. You have to be on Facebook or Instagram, Instagram feed, Instagram stories. You have to be on YouTube, and pretty much everywhere. Okay, so be everywhere, but hire a VA. You're going to create content on one platform, and then that VA's full-time job is to take that content and plaster it on all of the other platforms. Okay, so you are going to be found everywhere. So that's it for social media. It's super simple. And then just push the buttons. Social media changes so much, guys. Like I originally had Gogo's Bootcamp social media, and then I realized I can't keep up with the algorithms and the softwares and the new releases and the many chats and I just can't. It would be a full-time job, right? Yeah. But the way I figure it out is the same. Figure it out. You're going to log in. You're going to push the button and see what happens when you push it. And you're like, oh, that's really cool. Put a website in there.
Give your phone to an 8 or 9 year old and watch and just do what they do. Exactly. I mean, really, they just push buttons and they just figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, I have a story for you on this one. So last summer we went up to Michigan, and I asked my 15-year-old, I'm like, hey, Duke, can you help me create some videos this summer and I'll pay you? So at the time, my videos were paid. I had an average of 10,000 views in each of my videos, some more, some less, but an average, I would say 10,000. So I said, hey, listen, I will pay you, what was it? 10 cents per 1,000 views, right? Or 20 cents per 1,000, I think I said 20 cents per 1,000 views above 10,000. I'm not paying your first 10,000 because I usually get 1,000, but I'll pay you anything over 10,000, right? Do you want to take a guess on the only video that he did, the first and only video that he did, how many views I got?
Oh, geez. Did it get to 6 figures?
So 6.8 million.
Oh, shit.
20 cents. So I think I paid, okay, so 6.8 million, what is that? 6.8 million minus the 10,000. I can't do the math. Anyway, I think I paid the kid like, what was it, $1,700 or something like that, like $1,500. So the kid, so 3 minutes, literally the video is like, hey mom, what's your favorite quote? And he just walks by the couch and I say, what's my favorite quote? And that's the video that goes viral. The kid, like, he's 15. He made like $1,600. He's like, he stopped creating videos because he's like, I have plenty of money for the summer. Like,
I'm good.
I don't need to create any more videos. So maybe don't have this deal with your child, or like cap it at some point, like 20 cents per 1,000, but not more than. Yeah. Right? Like real estate transactions, like the escalation clause, right? Yes. Like,
yes.
I get 1,000, but not more than. Yes. So that happened to me. But exactly, ask a teenager. If you need help with social media, pay your kid. Like, they're going to skyrocket your business, like, and they can do it from home. They want to be an entrepreneur anyway, because nobody anyway wants to have a real job, right? They are thought to be their own bosses. Hire your own kid and write it off. Can we talk about different sources of income in 2025?
Very important, yes.
Okay. So what I want to cover is, if you want to, let's say, work from home, or if you want to go to Italy, right? I would totally concentrate on referrals. So if you think about it, before EXP, being nationwide and having all of these organizations and agents to have access to, it was so hard to find a referring agent. right? And then so we only did referrals when a client came to us. It was like, oh, we're moving out of state. Can you sell our house? And then we're moving to Florida, and then you refer them to Florida, right? So what I would recommend, you could literally build $1 million business from your couch at home just from referrals. I would call everybody you know, because think of it this way. Your friend in Chicago, do they have to live somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a roof above their head?
Yes.
Okay. More than likely, they are using a realtor when they're buying or selling, correct?
Yes.
You're thinking, well, it would be a waste of my time because I'm in Pinckney, Michigan, and my friend is in Chicago, and I'm not licensed there. So why would I even care if they're buying or selling? Because I'm not going to make money on it, right?
Right.
But guess what? Everybody that you know, like when you open up this phone, and every phone number in there, they live somewhere.
Right.
So you can start dialing from your couch every day, 10 people. Start at A, end up at XYZ at the end of the year, right? Call 10 people and be like, hey, by the way, did you know, you're probably assuming, because I'm licensed in Michigan, then I can only be your realtor in Michigan. But guess what? Just in the Team Gogo organization, we have 1,500 agents. I can help you anywhere in this country, and in 24 other countries in 5 minutes, I can get you a top producing agent. So don't hesitate. When you're moving somewhere, you know somebody who's moving somewhere, they need to sell, they have any real estate questions, I'm your person. And I don't charge. How is that for a sales pitch?
Yeah.
You're not going to pay me anything, right? So you have every phone number in your phone, since we're talking about dialing, right? Every phone number in your phone lives somewhere, and at some point is going to need a realtor.
That's right.
And if they are already a realtor, then just get them over to EXP.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think that's with anybody, you know, getting into any endeavor in any business. I mean, like, well, who do I call? Who do I have? I don't know. Click on your contacts on your phone. How many contacts are in there? Right. I mean, start right there. Right there.
I literally looked at everyone is my potential client. Because everyone needs to live somewhere. Even if they're out of state, like if I'm talking Joe Schmo at the airport, at the bar, waiting on a plane, they're a potential client.
Yeah.
Because they live somewhere, and one day they're going to need a realtor, and guess who they're going to come to me? And I can't wait. Hey, Gogo, I know you don't cover South Carolina, but we need a rock star like you. Can you help us? Absolutely.
And another thing too, Gogo, I mean, I think that's just a great reminder, right? We're talking about, you know, the state of business going to 2025. Everybody should have their elevator pitch, right? You know, what is it that you do? You know, you start the conversation, you're inquisitive. They're going to ask you, what do you do? What's the elevator pitch, right? What's the
my elevator pitch when I was still full blown in sales in real estate? What do you do for a living?
Yeah. What is yours?
I make people homeless. They pay me thousands of dollars. I'm really freaking good at
it. There you go. Right.
And then what do you mean you make people homeless? I'm like, I sell your house in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Homeless.
Yeah. And they so you get a chuckle out of it, right? Even if they catch it, they know what it is. And so they're like, oh, and they're going to remember that.
Yeah.
And what is that elevator pitch for you? And I think that's one of the things to take into, you know, the new year into the future is really, really important to be able to articulate that.
There, like, don't be like, I've been in business for 14 years. I sold $17 million in real estate, and I cover the Livingston County area residential real estate. Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Something that they're going to remember. They're like, oh, that's funny. You make people homeless. I'm like, yep, that's what I do.
Yeah, it's really good.
No joke in there.
So, Gogo, talk some more. So, you know,
I have other sources of income. Can I finish?
Yeah, let's tap into those. That's really important. I want people to be thinking more than, you know, just helping buyers and sellers. Obviously, we talked about agent attraction, being able to, and you think, you know, obviously this is Honey Badger Nation, but you look at the trend and where the future of real estate's going, all the business models are going there. You've got the legacy brands that are just going to sunset. That's because that's about all they can do. And then, you know, you're going to see all of the, you know, the business and the models and everything's going to have some form of this, because that's the future. And that's what agents want. They want multiple streams of income. So you've given 4, we know buyers and sellers, and then other agents, right? If they're on your team, if you want to have a team. And then you've got, you know, rev share. We're talking the referral network, which I love.
Stocks.
What else?
So I'm huge on multiple revenues of income, and I'm huge on passive income as well, right? Because eventually you won't be able to trade time, right? If you set all of this up right, some of these are going to have to be passive, or you're not going to be able to. There's only one of you and only 24 hours, right? Yeah. So I want all of you to have multiple sources of income, and this is how I learned it. When I joined EXP, Murgzy told me, we were in a training together, right? And he was teaching, and he said, if you have one transaction and that falls apart, that's 100% of your income. If you have 10 transactions and what falls apart, that's only 10% of your income. Yeah. But also, if all of those 10 transactions are in the same basket, all of your eggs are in that same basket, all in that real estate basket, right? And that market is tanking like it did last year. Like, we had the worst year in real estate, guys, worse than 2008, worse than 1996. It was one of the worst transactional real estate year since 1996. Like, we did worse than 2008, guys. Right? So by the way, if you survive last year, congratulations, high five yourself, go take a vacation because you deserve it, right? If you can afford it, you deserve it, right? Because you worked really hard for it. But with that being said, I want you guys to have multiple sources of income, because if that market is going down, you have to have other type of income, right? That is not tied to the real estate market, or somewhat tied to the real estate market, but doesn't automatically bring it down with it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few. Number one, I don't know if you knew that you can actually get paid as a real estate mortgage loan officer as well while you're a licensed agent. We were always able to do that, but in the past, we were not able to be on the same file. So if you were a licensed agent and what I call a REMLO, or a real estate mortgage loan officer, right, a loan officer, you were not able to be both on 123 Main Street in the past. Now the rules have changed. Now you can have a REMLO license and a real estate license and be what we call in the Team Gogo organization a full service agent. You can be their lender and their licensed realtor, right? So you can guide them through the whole process. You can have access to their files. You don't have to hit up your lender anymore like, do you have a clear to close? Did you get an employment verification and all that? You actually can have access to the file. So I think it's huge. I love being in control of my business. So if you want to know more about that program, you need to comment REMLO, 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 Real Estate Mortgage Loan Originator or Officer, on my Instagram, and then you can get lost on the website, study it, see if this is something that you want to do. An average REMLO in the Team Gogo organization does an average of, I don't want to say an average REMLO, a REMLO does in average $2,600 per file additional income to their commission. Okay, so that's a whole other source of income. Now, if you think about it, these are buy-side transactions because you're really only generating a mortgage when you're working with buyers. But are you really? No, because when you're at the bonfire with your buddies and they're talking about the $300,000 equity that they have in their home, guess what? You can now refinance them. Let's say your friend wants to have a bridge loan. Let's say they want to do a HELOC, right? You can do all of that. So you can think about, and it's a license nationwide in all 50 states. So if your cousin is buying a house in California, even though you cannot be the realtor, now you can be the real estate mortgage loan officer. So I would strongly recommend to look into that as well. That would be a whole other source of income for you in 2025. The next one that I want to recommend is we all hold knowledge for something. You are really, really, really good at something. I'm really good at something, that a God-given skill that God gave me, but guess what? God gave you skills that didn't give me. We are all 2 steps ahead of someone who's 2 steps behind us. So it is your duty to teach the next generation who's coming up of what you know so they can get it done faster. And also, I'm a huge believer that you get what you give. The more you give to people, the more God is going to give you. So I would want and recommend for you to create a digital product in 2025. There's so many ways to do it. They're so easy. There's the STEM stores, there's the schools, there's the Go High Levels, there is you name it. There's a million ways you can do it. Some of them is like 5 buttons you push, you shoot some videos, and you have a digital product. You can do ebooklets. You can do, you name it, a million webinars, you name it, a million ways you can sell the knowledge that's in your head. If you don't really know how to do that, I can help you. We are actually in the GoGram community starting a whole Europe training. Every single month, we are doing a live of teaching you how to create products, how to create those websites, how to create the verbiage, how to follow up, what is the email drip campaign, what is the checkout page. If you want to know business and entrepreneurship and you're interested about creating a digital product, you can go over to the GoGram community. So it's Go Get community. Or you can just go to my Instagram and comment community, and I will send you the link automatically. And if you're listening to this, you will not find a code anywhere else. But if you type in 10 off, you will get 10% off if you want to become a member. Okay. Next thing, then I want to talk about, again, the code for that one was community. So if you go on my Instagram, Gogo's Real Estate, comment community, it will take you to the Go Get 'em community page. And then if you like what you see and you want to be a part of the knowledge that I hold and sell out of my head, and my expert friends, John is actually a part of the Go Get 'em community coaches. So if you want knowledge in 2025 of how to be an entrepreneur, Go Get 'em community and type in the word 10 off, all one word, 10OFF, and it will give you 10% off for life. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is investment. I feel like so many realtors are chasing the next commission, make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, and in the end of the year, they have nothing to show for it. They have no investments. So if you start small with investments, I would recommend Real Bricks. If you comment Real Bricks on my profile again, I will send you the link. Real Bricks is a fractionalized real estate company, which means you don't have to have 25% down to own real estate. You can literally invest with as little as $100, as long as you're 18 years or older. Okay, so Real Bricks will allow you to buy real estate, but partial real estate. You're not owning the whole house, you're owning a portion of it. So if you want to start small and you're like, I don't even know where to start, and I don't have $75,000 to invest into your property, but I feel comfortable doing 200 today and 400 next month, right? You can check out something like Real Bricks. So then you can start small, but start seeing the results. I just had a meeting with them on Monday. Their dividend return is at 9%. So that means for the money that you invested quarterly, yearly they pay you 9%. So quarterly they pay you what, like 2 point something? And the money that you have invested. So dividend means that if you invest the money, it's still invested into the property in like shares, right? But based on how many shares you own, they pay you a percentage of that value quarterly. So your money that you invested is making you quarterly income while it's still invested. And then eventually when each of the properties are sold out, when they're fully funded and sold out, they can go on the secondary market and you can sell your shares just like you sell stocks. So let's say you invested 400 and you need the 400 back, you can go on the secondary market and take that 400 back. Okay, so research it, don't take my word for it. You can go on my Instagram, comment Real Bricks. Again, it's Gogo's Real Estate on Instagram. Comment Real Bricks. I will send you the link, study it, and see if this is something that you want to do. I do it. I find it fun. I automatically do $100 a week, right? And I buy real estate in Oregon. Right? Next one, I want you guys to start dabbling into stocks. I use a Robinhood app to the stocks because I like the way stocks are explained on the Robinhood app. Now, I don't trust Robinhood with my lifetime savings, but I use it what I call my fun money account. So if you're doing $100 here and $1,000 there or something like that, I absolutely trust it. Again, I have an automatic investment setting to Bitcoin and $100 a week. That's like a portion of a Bitcoin, right? But I'm buying a tiny portion of Bitcoin. So the way I'm looking at it, guys, when I switched to home office, before home office, I used to hit Starbucks on the way to the office. So that was like $6, $7, $14 every day. Well, I'm not spending my $6, $7, $14 every day now. So that is my fun money, my Starbucks money. So instead, now I'm like every week, I automatically deposit $100 into Bitcoin and it just automatically buys that. I use Robinhood for that. I don't have a link for you guys, but if you message me on Instagram, I get you a link, but you can just search for Robinhood, create your account and start investing and learn those stocks, right? So when you start studying, when you're investing your hard-earned money into these stocks or into these cryptocurrencies, you're going to study it because you're not going to want to lose that $100 that you had to work for an hour, that you traded an hour of your life for it. But then you start building wealth. Okay, so that was that. And then I have a bunch of prompts for you guys because we're coming to the end of the hour that you can build your business plan and your marketing plan for 2025. And they are the most amazing ChatGPT prompts that if that doesn't blow your mind, if I haven't blown your mind yet, if these ChatGPT prompts don't blow your mind, like I really want you to send me a message on Instagram after your download is and follow the instruction and did the ChatGPT prompts. I want you to send me a message of on a 1 to 10, how much did I, blow your mind today? Okay, you ready for the prompts? So number one, a business planning prompt for 2025. So I want you to think of it this. So you remember when we talked about your hourly rate and we talked about your business and what you want to achieve in 2025 and what you should do and what you should not do anymore. And then also stay in your lane, what you're really good at. And only do that thing because as long as you do that thing, you're going to make money, right? So the ChatGPT prompt for that, I did a training inside of the Go Get 'em community, and right now I'm giving that training away for free. So all of you guys can see what the Go Get 'em community trainings look like. So I called it How to Eat an Elephant One Bite at a Time, Reverse Engineer Your Goals for 2025. It's a long training, and I give you the ChatGPT prompt in that training, and I also show you how to use it. So that prompt is called free. So if you go on my Instagram and you comment free, FREE, I'm going to send you the video training and the prompt. Okay, so you're going to have both how to use it and then also what to use, what to type in. Okay, the next one, it is one prompt, but it's going to give you 4 different prompts. Okay, so if you go to my Instagram and comment prompt, and hopefully you were taking notes because I gave you at least 10 of these free trainings today that's going to blow your mind. So if you go to my Instagram and comment prompt, it's going to give you a 2025 marketing plan, including the most amazing ChatGPT prompt for marketing plan. Then it's also going to give you your business plan, another marketing plan for buyers and sellers in real estate. And also going to give you an agent attraction plan, and also going to give you a reverse engineering your goals in 2025. And the prompt for that is prompt.
Love it.
So all this is technology. I use and abuse technology. Technology is my best friend. Guess why? Because technology works 24/7, and it costs me $27 a month.
That's right. Love it. So many gifts. You come bearing gifts this year.
Take it.
Take it.
It made me millions. Now, here's my disclaimer. Nothing works unless you do. So if you don't see the results, look in the mirror.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. No, and I reread the 4 agreements at the end of last year, and that's the 4th agreement, right? Do your best. And all the other agreements, you're not always going to be at your, they're always not going to, be what they should be. You're going to kind of break them sometimes, but as long as you do your best, you're going to improve. And I think that's kind of the focus and the commitment moving into the new year. Just, show up.
So we are not all designed to be good at everything. Right. So if something's not working out, that doesn't mean you didn't give it all you got. You might have given 1,000%. It just didn't work out. That's just not meant to be. That is not your cup of tea. That's somebody else's cup of tea who needs to sip it. But if you still want to do it, that doesn't mean you shouldn't continue doing it, but you should probably hire it out to somebody who has skills in that.
Yeah.
Right? So don't be too hard on yourself. If you gave it 1,000% and you're wondering why the heck it's not working, you're probably not doing it right. It probably doesn't come natural to you. Or you need to stop doing it and go take your energy somewhere where you can actually see results, or hire somebody to whom it comes natural.
Couldn't agree with you more. Gogo, thank you so much. Jam-packed and really some actionable items for agents to, hit the ground running, gain some traction, get things moving, get momentum, get moving in the right direction. You guys listening, give Gogo tons of love. Get on her homepage, Gogo Real Estate, on Instagram. Take advantage of all of the things that she is giving away. Understand what that hourly rate is. Start making some key hires. Make some investments into being able to, gain back more of your valuable asset, which is your time. And, really start thinking about your business in so many different ways. What are all the income streams that I can have working for me? And definitely start making the investments. That's like I said at the beginning of the call. I mean, there's only one reason why I believe you should be in real estate, and that's uncover all the opportunities that we have to be able to go make the investments to move you closer to your freedom.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to make it super easy for everybody right here. And I'm going to repeat those prompts, those keywords, so you don't have to listen back in case you weren't taking notes, so I don't have to go back and listen to the whole thing. Yeah. Okay, so just write these words down. Then you can go on my Gogo's Real Estate Instagram, type them in one at a time, not all at the same time, one at a time. Go to a different post and type a different word, right? And then that way you will get the automations, and then you decide which one you need, okay? So number 1, write down funnel, then write down elevate, write down virtual, write down Remlo or EMLO, write down community, write down real bricks, write down Gogopreneur or podcast, write down free, and write down prompt. These will give you at least 10, 12 different things that you can start working on. And Please don't add all 12 at the same time, right? Your head would be spinning and you're probably not going to be 100% to any of them, right? You know what you need in your business, and choose a handful of them for 2025 and put your head down and start working on it and change your life.
Love it. Gogo, appreciate you. You're amazing as always. Guys, give her lots of love and take advantage of everything. And we'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you.
Bye, everyone.
That's a wrap for today. I hope you got something valuable from this episode. If you did, hit follow and visit johnkitchens.coach for more ways we can work together. See you on the next episode.